Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you about P. Diddy? He's been on your show many times.
Have a good night.
Have you been to his parties?
The situation with Diddy has really brought to light people that we as the public have seen being involved in these parties, involved with Diddy, which is also part of the problem, being involved with this industry, which is a huge part of the problem. And there's been a lot of great bloggers that over the years, a lot of great YouTube channels that over the years have exposed it. People say that it's the METOO movement. I don't think so. I think it's the we're tired of this shit movement. We're tired of this BS movement. We're tired of social media being controlled by some of these folks. That's the movement that this is.
I don't feel bad for Ellen DeGeneres, and neither should you. Here's why. Recently, Ellen DeGeneres addressed the hurtful end of her talk show in a new stand-up set. The comedian began performing her Ellen Last Stand-Up tour this week, her first major project since the Ellen DeGeneres show ended its run in 2022. There was these allegations of her mistreating staff, of her being a fake fraud and a phony, being one way with certain people, being a different way with certain people, and then again treating her staff like shit.
About what it was like working for Ellen DeGeneres.
Toxic, phony, hypocrite, liar. That's what she is.
When I would go into pitch Ellen, who we have on the show today for our production meetings, she looked away. She showed no interest with any of the news breaking stories. We had to walk on eggshells with her because when we would be pitching, her snide remarks would be, what am I going to talk to them about? I don't know. I have nothing to say. I don't know. However, she loved kissing ass with all the celebrities, and she really was not in a position to interview the real people because she really couldn't carry a conversation with the cares about Ellen anymore.
Gee, you're pretty scathing.
Well, I'd like to see her work on a farm where she can relate with all the animals and the pets and the dogs and the cows and the pigs, because she can relate to animals far more than she does with people. I was not able to have any connection with her, make any eye contact. And here's the thing. It's not just me or three of us. There were over 100 employees over the 19 years that walk away with this sickened feeling, about working there. As much as I loved my job as a booker and producer, I was almost relieved when I got fired because it was like I want to take a shower. It was like a whole new dawn.
I don't feel bad for her, especially because in light of all this Diddy controversy that's been coming up, it's interesting to me that she has yet to speak up for anybody. She has likely attended some of these Diddy parties and stayed very silent about what happens in these Diddy parties.
Did you know that Diddy was on Ellen 17 times? 17 times.
It was only 17 times, but after you said the 20, I felt like I was losing, but 17 times! I've been on the show 17 times!
So Ellen hosted her daytime show for like 19 seasons in 2020. She apologized at one point on air after her staffers alleged that the production environment on the set was toxic, a contrast to the happy tone of the show and her public image.
As you may have heard, this summer there were allegations of a toxic work environment at our show, and then there was an investigation. I learned that things happened, conversations over the last few weeks about the show, our workplace, and what we want for the future. We have made the necessary changes, and today we are starting a new chapter.
She shared recently that she became this one-dimensional character who gave stuff away and danced up steps. She was joking around with the crowd and asking them if they knew how hard it was to dance up steps. She basically complained about being kicked out of the show business. She says, and I quote, "Eventually they're going to kick me out for a third time because I'm mean, old, and gay." Again, Ellen DeGeneres never takes accountability about anything. I want to remind everyone that in 2019, Ellen DeGeneres opened up about her own sexual assault that happened to her as a teen by her stepfather. She had shared to everyone that this abuse happened around the time that she was 15 or 16, after her mother had been diagnosed with breast cancer. And her supporters, her audience, supported Ellen DeGeneres at that time. I mean, I remember a huge amount of support coming her way because this was really at the height of the Me Too movement.
Horrible, horrible story, and the only reason I'm actually going to go into detail about it is because I want other girls to not, ever.
Describing in detail how she was sexually abused by her late stepfather when she was just 15 years old.
He told me when she was out of town that he felt a lump in her breast and needed to feel my breast because he didn't want to upset her, but he needed.
DeGeneres says in part, I know now that one of the hardest things to do is speak up after being sexually abused. I love my daughter, and I wish I had the capacity to listen to her when she told me what happened. I live with that regret, and I wouldn't want that for any other parent.
18 years old.
Last year, I spoke with Ellen about the METOO movement and her own personal experience of abuse.
I think anybody who's gone through it right now is watching this so angry because, you know, how dare you not believe us?
People were supporting Ellen and applauding her for speaking out. She gave details of that abuse that happened to her. And let me tell you, it is just the saddest thing to hear. You know, I remember hearing about this. 2005 was really the first time that Ellen spoke about the abuse. And then she brought it up again because she really wanted to be a support to people speaking out. But here's my deal. When you're sitting on the couch with the likes of Diddy or with the likes of the Kardashian or the Kris Jenners or these other people that have perpetuated and harmed other people, and you sit there and you're asked about these allegations as it pertains to the people that you hang out with, that you're on this show with and doing the damn thing with and signing contracts with and going on vacation with.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? And then it will carry on there.
Yeah. Then no, I mean the after party.
No, I know about them. I'll listen to the music.
Why should the internet feel sorry for you when you're truly not there to help out those that are around you? When she spoke out about her abuse, everyone supported her and applauded her and really was in her corner. But now that she doesn't have this show, she is wanting to gain some kind of like sorry, pity, poor excuse type of situation where people support her in her stand-up. And root her because she lost her show because she was a really foul person. Yeah, I'm not supporting the BS. And I'm also calling out her BS as well. So back in 2020, a dozen of former Ellen Show employees said that executive producers engage in rampant sexual misconduct and harassment. There were so many ex-employees that said that one specific executive producer had a reputation for being handsy with women, and another had solicited oral sex at a party. There was a head writer of The Ellen Show who claimed that the executive producer, Kevin LeMan, asked him if he could give him a hand job or perform oral sex in the bathroom at a company party in 2013. There was others that made allegations of groping, just sexual misconduct overall. It was said that people couldn't really speak up, especially the lower level employees who felt like they had no power or no ability to really speak on just anything because they didn't want to lose their job or they didn't want to lose their position. I mean, this is Hollywood after all. This is why I find it so just hypocritical of her to talk about how she got kicked out of the showbiz when really people just want to hold her accountable and they want to hear her to really be held accountable to a certain degree because she sat there with the likes of the Diddys, the Kardashians, and so many other people that have been hurt because of the Diddy controversy. The internet is rightfully re-examining some of the Ellen DeGeneres moments that she had with Diddy on the show, some of the clips about these parties and whatnot. There was an article that was printed by the list that basically says rampant allegations against Sean Diddy Combs go back to the 90s. More recently, the rapper has been accused of sex trafficking, sex assault, and the solicitation and distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms, sparking raids at his LA home in March of 2024. Some allegations include accounts of parties thrown by Diddy, where he committed some of his alleged crimes, with one disturbing Diddy lawsuit even mentioning Prince Harry. But let me just say this, Diddy's connections to everyone, it's just so, it's like tentacles that go everywhere. You have the likes of the Kardashian that mentioned the Diddy parties. I mean, you can't forget that. Famously talked about these Diddy parties and wanted to be invited. And that is just the crap that pisses me off about Ellen. This is why I can never really feel like sorry about Ellen and her response to that and her lack of speaking out because she had a very shitty work environment for her staff. She also came out with allegations in 2005 and earlier in 2019 of her own abuse, and people really supported her then. And so when people are coming out speaking about allegations and giving their account of what's going on, she doesn't speak out. She sits there, she ignores it, she just walks away. She knew, she heard the damn question, you guys. This is why I don't feel bad about her crap.
Now, I want to talk about this clip that TikTok specifically has examined, but I wanted to go to the original clip to figure out if it was edited or altered or whatsoever. This is a very interesting clip because a lot of people are claiming that Ellen is a Satanist. That's she's into the occult stuff, right? As many of these celebrities have shown to be, in my opinion. So I wanted to make sure that I saw the original video. This is the TikTok video, and then we'll check the original video to see if it's been altered in any way. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments.
I just found out some really disturbing things about Ellen DeGenerate, and I'm not worried about that creepy sweatshirt she's wearing. But as we watch this video, the camera creeps inside of her house, and you can see that weird evil thoughts picture. I looked up the artist and he's into some really satanic stuff. And that's not even the weird thing. Look at this picture of Ellen sitting inside of her home. This is the picture that was right behind her. Now look at the letters on top. These are the same letters that you write out during satanic rituals. Look at this picture of her cutting her mother's hair. Now look at the picture above her head and try and figure it out. Oh my goodness.
So that is the video, and then I went to the original off-white sweater clip, and let me show you guys what it looks like. She posted this May 17th of 2020, so literally right at the heart of the pandemic. And she was calling Twitch.
So we can talk about Game of Games tonight.
Hey.
Hey, my friend.
How are you?
I miss you.
I miss you.
So, look, now people are going to start texting me now that I'm, what are you doing? You hunkering down and dancing?
Yes, hunkering down and dancing. Allison and I just finished TikToking.
Hey, Allison.
How are you guys?
Good. Well, hanging in there. You?
Yeah.
You know, we're so bored.
I know, but you have babies to entertain you. You have children. That's a good thing.
See, that's what you would think. It's funny you say it's an entertainment.
So let me stop right here. This art picture, let me put this banner down. This is the sweater was causing controversy, but people are really focused on this art photo. Now I am playing the original clip. I'm not manipulating anything. This is what this art photo looks like. This is what people have said. It's somehow connected to some kind of occult stuff. I am not an expert at it. And then you also have her sweater. There's something to do about the sweater with the bloody skull and Balenciaga or something like that. Some of you guys can really educate me about this in the chat. I'm not an expert at this whatsoever. But could this evil one just be a piece of art? I mean, it's disturbing. It's not something I would have in my house. But then again, I'm not rich. I don't have that kind of art in my house. Maybe that would be like a rich people thing. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. But I wanted to examine this per request. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments about this whole situation. Would you give Ellen a second chance to be platformed in Hollywood? In my opinion, if these people are involved in some kind of BS and they honestly aren't about helping others and calling out stuff, I don't think they need to be platformed. But that's just my opinion. You let me know your thoughts. Rabbits out. Bye, guys.